Far beyond the snowy mountains of Eldoria, where silver rivers curled through glowing forests, there stood a hidden kingdom called Moonmere. Most people believed it was an ordinary place filled with castles, markets, and gardens. But hidden beneath the kingdom was an ancient secret. Magic still lived there, and the strongest magic of all belonged to a 12-year-old princess named Lyra. Princess Lyra had long dark hair that shimmered blue in moonlight and bright green eyes that glowed whenever she used her powers. She could move water with her hands, speak to animals, and create silver light from the palms of her fingers. Only a few people knew about her magic. Her father, the king, warned her never to reveal it to the outside world. Magic frightens people, he often said, and frightened people can become dangerous. But Lyra didn't care much for royal parties or lessons about fancy manners. She preferred exploring forests with her best friend, Max. Max was no ordinary dog. He was enormous, almost the size of a horse, with thick golden fur, giant paws, and bright amber eyes. Ancient runes glowed faintly around his collar whenever danger was near. Though he couldn't speak human words, Lyra understood him perfectly, and Max understood everything. One stormy evening, Lyra snuck away from the castle with Max to visit the Whispering Woods. Rain drummed against the leaves while thunder rolled across the sky. That was when she heard it. A roar. Not angry. Painful. Max growled softly and lowered himself close to the ground. "You heard it too?" Lyra whispered. Another roar echoed through the forest. They followed the sound deep into the woods until they reached a hidden cliffside cave. Smoke drifted from the entrance. Inside lay the largest creature Lyra had ever seen. A dragon. Its scales shimmered dark emerald green. One wing was badly injured, pierced by iron arrows. Golden eyes opened slowly as Lyra stepped closer. Max barked once, but did not attack. The dragon spoke in a deep, tired voice. "Please, don't let them find me." Lyra froze. "You can talk." The dragon gave a weak smile. "You can speak to animals. Surely this surprises you less than most." Lyra carefully approached. "Who hurt you?" "Hunters," the dragon said bitterly. "They came from the northern cities. They seek dragon fire." Dragon fire? It powers weapons, machines, armies. Lyra looked horrified. "What's your name?" she asked softly. "Ashen." She knelt beside him and touched the arrows carefully. Silver light flowed from her hands. The metal melted away, and the wounds slowly closed. Ashen stared at her in amazement. "You possess moon magic." "My mother did too," Lyra said quietly, before she disappeared. Max nudged Ashen gently, sniffing him. Ashen chuckled painfully. "Your dog is larger than some wolves I've fought." Max barked proudly. For the next few days, Lyra secretly visited the cave, bringing food, blankets, and medicine from the castle kitchens. Ashen grew stronger each day. He told her stories about the ancient age when dragons once protected the skies alongside humans. "People used to trust dragons," Lyra said one afternoon. "They trusted what they understood," Ashen replied sadly. Then greed arrived. One evening, while they sat near the cave entrance, Ashen suddenly lifted his head. "They're here." Max growled instantly. Voices echoed through the forest. "Hunters." Lyra peeked through the trees and saw at least 12 men carrying crossbows and flaming spears. "The dragon can't be far," one shouted. Another hunter held up a strange glowing compass. "This tracker reacts to dragon fire." Ashen backed deeper into the cave. "If they find me, they'll kill me." Lyra clenched her fists. "No, they won't." The hunters approached the cave entrance. "Spread out," their captain ordered. Max stepped forward with a thunderous bark. The hunters froze. "That dog's enormous." One hunter aimed his crossbow. "Don't," Lyra warned, stepping into view. Princess Lyra, the captain said in surprise. What are you doing out here? I could ask you the same. We're hunting a dangerous beast. He's not dangerous. The hunters exchanged confused looks. Then Ashen emerged from the shadows. Several men panicked immediately. Dragon. Spears lifted. Crossbows aimed. Lyra raised both hands. A burst of silver magic exploded outward like moonlight across water. Wind whipped through the forest, knocking the hunters backward. No one hurts my friend, she declared. The captain stood shakily. You're protecting it? Yes. It's a monster. Ashen's eyes narrowed with hurt. Lyra stepped in front of him. No. Monsters choose cruelty. Ashen saved me from falling off a cliff yesterday. What have you done besides hunt creatures for profit? The captain hesitated. But another hunter shouted, Take the dragon. He fired a flaming arrow. Max leaped into the air with impossible speed and snapped the arrow cleanly between his teeth. The hunters stared in terror. Max growled deeply, magical energy crackling through his fur. Ashen spread his giant wings. Lyra, he said quietly, run. But she stood firm. Then suddenly, a loud horn echoed across the forest. More hunters arrived. Dozens more. They brought reinforcements, Ashen growled. The captain smiled darkly. Nowhere left to hide. Dragon. Lyra's heart pounded. Then she remembered something Ashen once told her. Dragons and moon magic were connected long ago. She looked at the moon rising above the trees. An idea formed. Max, she whispered, buy me time. The giant dog charged forward with a mighty roar. Hunters scattered as Max smashed wagons aside with his massive paws. Ashen unleashed a blast of green fire into the sky, not to hurt anyone, but to create a wall of flames between the hunters and the cave. Lyra closed her eyes. Silver light surrounded her body. The ground trembled. Ancient symbols began glowing beneath the forest floor. The hunters stopped in fear. What is she doing? Lyra lifted both arms toward the moon. I call upon the old magic, she whispered. A beam of moonlight struck the earth. Suddenly, glowing dragon spirits appeared all around the forest, massive transparent dragons circling through the sky. The hunters screamed and stumbled backward. It's cursed. The spirits roared together, shaking the mountains. The captain dropped his weapon. Retreat. Within moments, every hunter fled into the darkness. Silence returned. The dragon spirits slowly faded away. Lyra collapsed to her knees, exhausted. Ashen rushed beside her. That magic, no one has used it for centuries. Max licked her face happily. I'm okay, she laughed weakly. Ashen lowered his great head respectfully. You saved me. You're my friend, she replied. Over the next few weeks, peace slowly returned to the forest. The hunters never returned. Rumors spread across the kingdom about glowing dragons protecting the woods, and many people became too frightened to enter. But deep within the mountains, something wonderful began to happen. Trust returned. Ashen eventually revealed a hidden sanctuary where other dragons still lived in secret. Some were old and wise. Others were young hatchlings who had never seen a human before. At first they feared Lyra. But Max rolled onto his back beside the baby dragons, wagging his giant tail, and soon everyone relaxed. Lyra visited often. She learned dragon language, ancient magic, and stories forgotten by humans long ago. Ashen became like an older brother to her. One evening, as the stars glittered overhead, Lyra sat atop a cliff beside Ashen and Max. Do you think humans and dragons will ever live together again? She asked. Ashen gazed toward the distant kingdom lights. Maybe not today, he said. Maybe not tomorrow. He looked at her kindly. But someday, because of you. Max barked happily at the stars. Lyra smiled. And under the silver moon, with her dragon beside her and her loyal giant dog watching over them both, the young princess realized her adventure was only beginning.